Bing Bong from Inside Out, the hit 2015 Pixar film, is the ultimate expression of unconditional love. Inside Out is a drama playing out inside the mind of an 11-year-old Riley, where her emotions are all individual characters that strive to create the best psyche they can for Riley. While joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust are all featured prominently and affect the emotional color of Riley's memories, her childhood imaginary friend Bing Bong was relegated to the back of her mind. The topic of this video essay, Bing Bong, would explore her personality islands with his cart fueled by song power, but not play an active, conscious role in her life. Bing Bong loves Riley and wants the best for her, certainly more than her dime a dozen imaginary boyfriends. Bing Bong goes around generally being helpful, and he eventually teams up with Joy and Sadness to get them back to headquarters to allow for Riley's full emotional spectrum to take place. Bing Bong does all this despite being already forgotten from Riley's conscious mind. Bing Bong only acts for the sake of Riley, never for his cotton candy, lovely elephant self. He's the paradigm of altruism. He just loves Riley. At least, that's the story Pixar wants you to believe. The silly, happy cotton candy man loves Riley so much he'll die for a little girl who already forgot him. Ha! You're a smart fellow. I'm sure you don't believe this nonsense either. Bing Bong was preparing for his resurrection and ascension to power. In the 2024 sequel Inside Out 2, Joy and the gang find themselves bottled up in a cage full of repressed things Riley chose to forget, including a charismatic cartoon character, a video game heartthrob, and a deep dark secret. Interestingly, none of these characters featured in the first film. One would have imagined that they would have been roaming around the personality islands like Bing Bong. Why weren't they? Perhaps they were locked up down there during the events of Inside Out. Perhaps by a certain cotton candy elephant. The prison would have been the perfect place for Bing Bong to have been. Such is often the fate of childhood imaginary friends. Perhaps he had been there at some point. Perhaps he escaped. Regardless of the details, Bing Bong was out on the loose because he broke out of this prison somehow, and he left the others to just rot away so they couldn't get in the way of or reveal his plans. I can imagine you're wondering how these nefarious plans could have been executed if Bing Bong dies during the events of Inside Out. That, my friend, is where you're mistaken. Bing Bong disappears away at the bottom of this memory void. It may look like death, but Bing Bong experiences rebirth during Inside Out 2. Dying, in heavy air quotes, was part of the plan. In Inside Out 2, below the void is the new belief system, a place where memories can be put to create Riley's self-image. Bing Bong created this whole area in order to exert even greater control over Riley. Now I hear you asking, that's silly. How can he create a whole area of her mind? I'll tell you how. Bing Bong wasn't just skipping around having fun all day. He was studying the nature of Riley's mind for years. He was so accustomed to it that he was just happy to casually walk into the clearly dangerous room of abstract thought. He didn't care because he had already achieved mastery over the nature of Riley's abstract thought. Been there, done that. His studies have been extensive. Bing Bong has been there forever. That's like how being a childhood imaginary friend works. Do you remember how Sadness would read the manuals about how Riley's mind works? Who do you think wrote them? Somebody had to. That's right, it was Bing Bong. Bing Bong is the ultimate expert on Riley's mind. So, what does Bing Bong gain from all of this? Bing Bong documents Riley's mind, creates whole new systems, but why? Obviously, Bing Bong gets a lot of power by being the most knowledgeable being about his world, but does he get anything else? Consider Bing Bong's final, in air quotes, words to Joy as he, in air quotes again, sacrifices himself.
Take her to the moon for me, okay?
I bet you're feeling stupid for not figuring it out earlier. Let me lay it out. It's obvious that Bing Bong is an alien mind virus trying to get Riley to go to the moon to become the queen of the moon people. Riley loves ice hockey, which is definitely her idea, not Bing Bong's. Ice hockey is all about navigating in low-friction environments, which is exactly what you get on the moon with the lack of drag from this low-density atmosphere. And isn't it strange that Bing Bong introduces a bunch of new emotions into HQ after he achieves greater power after his vanishing? Perhaps it's these emotions that are necessary for Riley to become the Moon Queen. Envy of the Martians, ennui regarding human life, embarrassment of her fleshy goofball monkey upbringing, and the anxiety necessary to foresee the future and stop the great moon calamity. And where is lust, the most obvious pubescent emotion that is conspicuously missing? Everyone knows the Moon Queen is celibate, so lust wasn't useful to Bing Bong. Now, Bing Bong preparing Riley to become the Moon Queen isn't so crazy. The thing is, you people in the real world had also better watch out. Inside Out has been very popular as a film that helps people understand their emotions better. What do you think would happen if a whole generation's sense of emotional self-understanding was based on the constructions of Bing Bong? That's right, the Inside Out franchise is seeding our youth with ideas that will turn them essentially into a big sleeper cell. When the time is right, Bing Bong will activate them to go live under the rule of Moon Queen Riley. This is why I have made it my mission to spread the word about Bing Bong's evil plan before it's too late. Don't let your children watch this film unless you want them to become astronauts with allegiance to the Moon Queen and her alien overlords.